Hi there, this is Solid Children from Solid Children Films, and welcome to another random review. First of all, I would like to say all the best to everybody who's watching for 2019, especially Mike Mayock. And let's begin. This is a random review of Robert Wise's 1959 film Odds Against Tomorrow. This is the BFI dual format release. And it has quite fantastic extras. It's a 2009 50-minute Q&A with Harry Belafonte, who produced and stars in the film. There's a 30-minute appreciation from 2016 by critic Adrian Wooten. There's a 74-minute interview with Robert Wise at the National Film Theatre from 1995. And there's a 63-minute audio interview from 1969 with Robert Ryan at the National Film Theatre. So some really good extras. Now let's talk about the film. This is a film noir, but it's from 1959, so it's kind of the end of the cycle. You could argue that Orson Welles' Touch of Evil was the ultimate noir and the end note of noir. You could argue that Citizen Kane maybe started noir, but that's a different discussion for a different day. But this is more a noir, but also the beginnings of kind of social commentary within noirs. This was produced, like I say, by Harry Belafonte. It's based in a book, but they kind of changed the ending of the book, but not necessarily in the way that you might think. Obviously Sidney Poitier had kind of broken through in the 50s with The Heat of the Night and The Defiant One and Blackboard Jungle, but this is a slightly different film. It's a darker film, and I think that's maybe why it's kind of forgotten about. I mean, I wasn't really that aware of it, and obviously Robert Wise made more famous films than this, but it tells the story of three men kind of cornered by their actions and their pasts into planning a bank robbery. The trio is headed by Ed Begley as an ex-cop who wants one last score so he can kind of retire and have a better life. Robert Ryan is an angry, dangerous, racist ex-con, and Harry Belafonte is a nightclub singer who has built up quite a lot of gambling debts and tries to support his ex-wife and kid, and is kind of backed into a corner out of desperation to go along with the job as well. I mean, Harry Belafonte gives a fantastic performance. Robert Ryan, who for most of his career played men who are on the edge, men who were kind of tightly wound and were kind of on the edge of explosion. He plays that to the hilt here. If you've seen On Dangerous Ground by Nicholas Ray, where he plays a violent cop who's like too violent even for the 50s, this is him, but up to 11. Most scenes he's kind of tensed up and ready to explode. He gets into a bar fight. He says himself that, you know, when he's angry, things get easier for him. It's a great performance. It's, if you've seen Crossfire by Edward Dmytryk, where he plays a Jew-hating ex-soldier, and this, he's obviously has a problem with Harry Belafonte and black folks in general. So there's obviously the tension between the two of them, but they're kind of all forced together to do this job. And it's beautifully shot, and it is a really nice print by BFI as well, I should say. Shelley Winters is Robert Ryan's love interest, but you've also got Gloria Graham turning up, who's a neighbour from upstairs. It's just a lovely, well-crafted little film, and the reason I think, as far as I knew, has been kind of passed over is obviously because of the racism in it. It doesn't pull any punches as far as Robert Ryan's attitudes or the words he uses, but really it's the pre-bank robbery sequence is fantastic. It's they go out of town to this wee town in the sticks, but they kind of get there early, so they then split up and kind of kill time. And obviously somebody else might have just like cut to the bank robbery, but it's really nicely done as the three of them kind of do their own thing of killing time. It's similar to the beginning of Once Upon a Time in the West, when Woody Strode and Jack Elam are waiting for the train to arrive. It's a similar setup. So Ed Begley sits on a bench and throws stones at a tin can. Robert Ryan makes sure the guns are in order and tries to shoot a rabbit. Harry Belafonte sits by the river, staring at a muddied doll in the debris, and then they actually do the robbery. This being a film noir, you can kind of guess how the robbery goes, and I'm not going to ruin the ending, but again, this is film noir. What's interesting about the ending is, like I said earlier, it's different from the book, because the book, the Robert Ryan and Harry Belafonte character, you know, they begrudgingly gain respect for each other, and in the end there's self-sacrifice. But it's interesting, Harry Belafonte in the Q&A pretty much says he felt that just wouldn't work in the society of 1959 or 1950s America. So the ending is not neat, and you know, these two guys learn to respect each other. Just, you know, it doesn't work like that. So I would recommend it for the performances, or I should mention it's got a really nice score, a nice jazzy score, and Robert Ryan's performance is, if you think he's only went to a 10 with his tension and anger and fury, this is an 11. It's weird kind of looking at images for the background to this video. There is actually a shot on set of Harry Belafonte and Robert Ryan obviously laughing and joking, and of course it's just bizarre seeing that after watching the film, because spoiler alert, they don't laugh and joke in the film. But yeah, this is a great wee film. I'd give it a 4 out of 5. There's a lot to like in it, and again, it's one of Robert Wise films that are obviously just been skipped over because of the strong nature of the language, and probably the ending as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like or let me know if you have seen it and what you thought of it, and we shall hopefully see you again. This is Solitude saying thank you very much for watching.